Okay, so I think there were some questions in the chat, but I think you answered a lot of them. One, do you mind going just like tapping back through, like starting at like at the beginning with the slides? So one, I actually would do want to stop you with savings bonus if you want to go back to that one.
Yes.
So one thing I want to make sure that you guys understand is that I kind of equate it to like a 401k. So it's like Partner Co pays out everything in your base commissions, and then they say, "Oh, you hit over 250 US," and I think in Canada it's like 370 or something Canadian. um we're gonna match your efforts and put 15%. So they're not, so we're just gonna match those efforts and dump that into the savings bonus. I want to make sure people understand that, because sometimes people are like, well, do I make that 15% right now? And it's like, yes, you make everything that you earned that week. They're just, it's a match. So kind of think about savings bonus as a match. It's like they're matching your efforts and putting 15% away for you, and there's no limit on how long that takes you to earn that. And there's no doesn't matter how long it takes you to earn it, doesn't matter what your title is. I think those are also really important for
Hmm.
earning that. Okay, let's see. Um, what other questions, you guys? Do you want to put them in the chat, or would you like to raise your hand? Um, I think you did a great job explaining gold status. So we do not talk a lot about gold. We always say ultimate and gold. That's top pay. So when someone just earns gold status, we actually don't ever coach on that, because we want them to be at ultimate as well. And so we want them to get ultimate and gold, not just gold status. So that's why when Cindy went through that, you might be like, I don't even know what she's talking about. That's good. Just focus on getting people to ultimate, because then they have gold and ultimate. They don't just have one. Um,
Exactly. I did want to bring that up because it is in, like,
right,
it's always
physics
says gold
combination.
status.
Yeah,
And just knowing that that is a huge part of unlocking the most amazing bonus. I
yeah.
didn't want, I just wanted to kind of explain that. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So one thing, so just so you guys kind of understand, when I first started, one of the things I remember Susan Frank always saying was, we don't talk about like business level um and elite, because we want people to get to ultimate. And so it's kind of that same mentality. Like, know that that's there, that people can get to gold status, but we really want people to get to ultimate. And so, which includes gold and ultimate. Okay, I'm sure there's some questions that you guys have. There, none of them are wrong. So please raise your hand, put a question in the chat, because I think I know that there've got to be some more questions, because this is probably like, um, but it's very thorough. And I don't know, Cindy, do you maybe want to go back through the slides, and we can like just see
yep.
if anybody has questions
Can
on any
I,
of these things? Yes,
and
Lisa.
can I
Yes.
just wanted, I have to go in a minute, but what I just wanted to encourage, because I can see a lot of teammates on the call. I just want to encourage everybody. It is like speaking a foreign language when you're learning a new compensation plan. And I just remember 20 years ago when I started in this industry, I had no idea how to explain this. It was something I never went over with new people. And it was just something that I learned as I grew. As I grew to every level, I started understanding. But what I love about this is six different buckets of getting paid. Cindy, what you did here for me is you help me to show people where to spend their time. And so I really appreciate that. But I don't want to worry anybody about having to know every single detail here, because it really is something that you're going to notice in your check. And what by looking at Cindy's check, what she showed you, she can see every generation. She can see what she's getting paid, and she can see where she needs to work, which is really, really helpful. But again, trying to explain this to a new person, don't do yourself a favor and try to do that because
Yeah,
they're
and
also
so
going to glass over it. They're never going to
I
want to do
totally
this.
I totally agree, Lisa, and I did not understand for months. I did not understand it. And it is so true that
Yeah.
when you see it happening in your own paycheck, then you go back and you're like, oh, okay, that makes so much sense. However, I know that I missed out on many buckets in on many weeks because I didn't understand. And so that's why I tried to take a look and proof my own check and go back and go, oh, okay. So if I can help make the learning curve a little shorter
You did.
on when you separate it into buckets, it just was like an aha moment for me.
Yeah.
I'd say it's perfect timing.
Yeah, yes, I agree. And what I'll say, so in regards to that, because a lot of times the places that people miss the opportunity is with the savings bonus. What you can look at is you can look at on your dashboard. It will tell you where you are with the, like, if you're at 250 or you're 150 or you're at 300 with your base commissions. The goal is 250 in the US minimum. What I want you to understand is the way that you get that is 1,667 in your line 1 and in your line 2. I'm just using that as an example. You might have 3 lines of business, then it would be your power line and the combination of your other 2 lines. Um, and it cannot include new volume bonus. The best way to wrap your mind around that is new volume bonus. It's set apart separately than base commissions when you go to my money and volume in your back office. And it's completely set apart. So you're looking for base commissions, 1,667 PV. That's what you're looking for, okay? And so you want to get used to going to that report, my money volume, okay? And then you want to look for those for 1667. When you do that, it will unlock in the US and in Canada, it will unlock base commissions, okay? And so it's not the total out to the right. That includes new volume bonus. You're looking for the base commission volume of 1,667 in your power line and your pay lines combined, or if you just have one power line, one pay line. Is that helpful? What were we going to say, Cindy?
I was just to say that's awesome. Yes, it is helpful, and I was also just going to make the notation. I had a lot of questions last night when I did this training about the new volume bonus, especially when you're bringing somebody in with a free, like, sign up.
Yes.
That it's still the 4 Fridays is the 4 Fridays is the 4 Fridays. And if they decide to sign up today and 6 months down the road, they decide to jump on and do this and become ultimate, that new volume bonus is off the table. So that particular bucket is closed after 4 Fridays. Okay. So we need to be really good at counting. If today I sign up today, which is a Wednesday, my first Friday would be this coming Friday. And then we count, you need to make sure that we have those solid because you don't want to miss out on that bonus.
Right.
And if somebody comes out at a 4-pack or a 10-pack or a 30, whatever, if they don't do the 30-pack in the first transaction, you're going to get paid every Friday. If they did a 4-pack week 1, if they did a 10-pack week 2, it's going to come to you piecemeal up to that 450. Okay. So they're just not going to hold it off to the end. And it's not just, you only get it if they hit the 1,500, you're going to get it on all of their orders in that first 4 weeks when you personally sponsor somebody.
Yes, and this is what I want to clarify this. I think this is also really important to understand. This is why I didn't understand this when I started, when you sign up a new person, you want to be at Ultimate. I
Mhm.
missed out. I was not at top pay when I signed people up. I didn't understand. I was in the midst of moving. I mean, literally, I was moving across the country. I didn't understand, and I was like, I'll figure it out later. Well, I don't. You don't get to figure it out later. So my point is I did get to Ultimate, and I did help other people get to Ultimate, but I did not. I missed out on some of that. I got 15%, but I didn't get the 30% on
Mhm.
some people. So what I want, so I think that's really important to understand. Once you hit the 450, once the person gets to ultimate, the 30% stops. Okay, it stops at that. Okay, then this is the best way to think about it, at least for me. This is how my mind works. The new volume bonus, remember how we don't get that doesn't go into base commissions and it can't go toward the savings bonus. The way I look at it is, with the new volume bonus, we get that upfront bonus when someone comes in, and our goal is to help them get to ultimate. We get a bonus for helping them get to ultimate, teaching and training them and helping them and supporting them. Then when they get to ultimate, any of the activity that they do after that, that's going to go into our base commissions.
Mhm.
When we hit that 1,667 in both of our lines, instead of getting that right now, upfront new volume bonus, they're doing a match and putting the 15% into our savings bonus. So I think I mean, you guys, it's very generous, and it's kind of unheard of, to be honest with you, to offer that to people regardless of your level. That's what I absolutely love. Okay, so
Question.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. I noticed that there's two terms just to help everybody understand base commissions and base pay, because both those terms are being used. And like when you look at the matching check slide, for example, you see base commissions. Um, can you just explain base commissions versus base pay?
They're one and the same.
Yes. Okay. I just want to make sure people get that. And then the first four Fridays is where you get the new volume bonus, Debbie. Um, after the first four Fridays, you don't get the new volume bonus, but if they needed it technically, they could use up to 8 Fridays. We just don't talk about that because we want to help people get into activity right away to create money right away for themselves and to get to ultimate. Um, so I hope that answers. This has been awesome, Cindy. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I think that's a big thing. I just want to mention while you're talking about the new volume bonus, that's where how we teach people to start with buying bulk and whatnot is powerful versus building one SmartLink share at a time. Like you can do that, but it takes 30 people to buy from your SmartLink, and you're only getting paid at that business level each time that person buys. So the very first person that buys from your SmartLink, if you're not ultimate, let's say you're just activated, you're only getting paid that member PV, of 15% on that. So, and you've got to sell, up to 500. That's 6 to 7 boxes before you get that little boost. So that's why we really encourage people to do that bulk, follow that SOG essentially, because you're going to make more money on those boxes right out the gate.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's see. There's some questions in the
I
chat.
love the way you explain things, Cindy. I just got to say.
Oh, Thank you.
She's amazing. So you do get new volume bonus on customers that are signing up with a subscription as preferred customers or ordering off your website. You get that with their basically with their first 4 weeks as well. So if you're at Ultimate, you make more, right? But if you're not, you don't make as much. And that's the other thing in the United States and Canada, we have the option to buy in bulk. That is one of the reasons we recommend doing that, because you're going to get more right now money in your pocket. You're also going to help people get to Ultimate faster. And so they're going to be making more money in their pocket. So I think I want to make sure that's clear. And then somebody was asking, if somebody comes in at less than Ultimate and goes beyond the first 4 weeks. Oh, okay. She's answering someone else's. Okay. So basically, if someone comes in, like with, let's say, a 10-pack, and then they don't get to Ultimate, they technically have another 4 Fridays. Okay. The bonus, this is how I want you to understand, the bonus, the new volume bonus, stops on the 4th Friday, period. There is no way to recapture that. It's done. And so they have another 4 Fridays that they could get to Ultimate and Gold status, but you don't make the new volume bonus off of them as the sponsor. They still could get to Ultimate. So that's awesome for them. But what we want you to understand that's really important is the reason, what I love here is that when we can help someone get to Ultimate within the first 4 Fridays, a couple of things happen. They get to Ultimate, so it unlocks that new volume bonus for them at 30%, and it unlocks Gold status. The next thing that it does is it gets them into momentum and doing this system. And so then chances are they're selling drops. They're attracting people to their business. And chances are going to have more success because they are doing this right away and they're not waiting. And so like the statistics from the home office are significantly higher when someone hits Ultimate within the first 4 Fridays. Their chance, or the statistics, let's put it this way, the numbers show that they are going to be more set up for success long term with Partner Co than if they waited to go Ultimate. Are you guys following me? Cindy, what else would you add?
Nothing to what you just said. I mean, that absolutely makes perfect sense. And that's kind of why we do what we do. It just makes sense that somebody wants to come in at this position. And I really felt like at the end of this training and just visually seeing the buckets myself, like it just makes it so impactful for the future earnings. Why would you want something less for the same effort, for sure?
One more question here. So what if they don't hit it? That's the question. What if they miss the 8-week window? What happens then?
So if they miss the 8-week window, right now we have the Ultimate Unlock until April 3rd. And so let's say someone is well, basically you just need to go look at the Ultimate Unlock slides. If they're at active level, then they have another 1,300 to do, right? Like the slides are very clear. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't want to get too complicated here. So for example, the reason why Partner Co, when they do this Ultimate Unlock, the reason why they have just these three options, active, business, elite, the reason why they have those is because your subscription does not count toward ultimate qualification. So I want you to think about this. If someone signs up today, it's a Wednesday, and they have 4 Fridays. The day after their 4th Friday is the day that their subscription's going to run. So the subscription, if they found out, if they finished their ultimate qualification within the first 4 Fridays, when their subscription's going to run on that day after the 4th Friday. So the subscription does not count toward ultimate qualification. So that's why when corporate does this ultimate unlock, they just give 3 options for people to get up to ultimate. It's whether you're like when you go in the tree, for example, and you look at someone's business level, and let's say they signed up in November, and you look at their business level, if they're at member or active or whatever it says, I think it's like active, I can't remember, I think it's member actually, then they're going to have 1,300 to do. Okay, are you guys following me? So it just gives you those 3 options. I think it's actually nice because you don't have to go do any math. You just have to know which level it is, how much that needs to be done, and then it is unlocked. But the subscriptions don't count, because if they counted, I'm just going to act like I'm my mom. If they counted toward qualification toward ultimate, then it wouldn't be fair to the people who hit it in the first 4 weeks if the subscriptions counted. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Well, Cindy, you're amazing, as always.
Hey, Ann, it's Charmin.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, so let's say we don't have the ultimate unlock, and somebody that signed up in November, they're a brand partner, they just wanted the discount. Now they're seeing results and they're ready to jump in and do the business. Okay, so
this is
what are
so
they have to do a 30 pack or 1,500 PV,
yes.
and we could, okay, perfect.
One time
one
order,
time.
and you have to, your officer above needs to call and ask for an exception.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? All right, you guys. Well, we have a great night tonight. Make sure to use the app to invite your people. Stacy and I are going to be sharing. Tomorrow night is Reese and Ashley Antley. It will be really fun, and we have free sign up through tomorrow night. So let's take advantage of it and have an awesome week. Thank you guys so much.
And just to note, I will be adding, once Anne drops the recording from the initial training, and then we can also drop the Q&A, and then I will drop the slides, and that will be in boards, and that will be under the click here first, and then next steps, and then there is a folder for team training.
Yay! Thank you, Cindy. We appreciate
You're welcome.
you. All
Have a
right,
good
guys.
day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.